Yo, have you guys ever seen Madagascar? Like the movie, you know those lemurs, like those animals that like to move it. Did you guys know there's a giant freaking lemur kaiju like in the Monsterverse, an actual canon giant lemur kaiju that Godzilla may have to fight at some point in the future? Sounds like the most insane thing ever, but it's freaking true. I'm so excited to watch this video. Gojicenter posted a new video on this amazing creature, which isn't listed in the comics or the movies, and I need to know where its information is listed, because a giant lemur kaiju sounds like my favorite thing on the planet. So yeah, check out Gojicenter down below, leave a like, subscribe, and let's do it. I am so excited right now to find out about this giant lemur kaiju. Oh my god.
Godzilla, Kong, Rodan, Mothra, Ghidorah, Behemoth.
God, they're all so beautiful.
And a lot of other titans have already been well grounded in the Monsterverse. But in this episode, we will review some of the most bizarre and strange creatures that you might not have known about in this Kaiju universe.
Yes, dude.
Join us as we reveal some of the physical appearances, abilities, and causes of death that some of these creatures had to suffer. If you're one of those people that keeps coming back to watch these videos but haven't subscribed, then please hit that big red subscribe button to...
Seriously, you guys, if we could get Gojicenter to 1 million subscribers, do you guys understand the power they would have over the political, economic state of the world?
Fill your feed with pure awesomeness. And go check out our merch. Coming up, Monsterverse creatures you haven't heard about.
Woo!
Consider yourself knowledgeable if you are acquainted with at least 3 of these creatures.
One of them is a Triceratops, and I'm so goddamn excited to see what that is.
That not all of the animals discussed here are considered titans. And most importantly, take the existence of these animals with a grain of salt. Even though all of these are mentioned or depicted in official Monsterverse material, it's still not 100% clear whether these are considered canon to the Monsterverse timeline.
I don't even care, dude. If you show it in Monsterverse material, it's canon. I'll fight the producers. I'll fist fight them in the rain, bro.
Okay, enough disclaimers. Number 1, Giant Anomalocaris. Let's travel back in time to the events prior to 1973 and land in 1953 at the Monarch headquarters. Here, this relatively new secret organization was commissioned to study massive unidentified terrestrial organisms that were starting to appear after the introduction of atomic technology. In the graphic novel Godzilla Awakening, we follow Eiji Serizawa, Ishiro Serizawa's father, inside a facility where they were holding a sample of the titan now known as Shinomura. But this isn't the only one we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on this interesting creature right here.
Oh, damn!
There's no official name for this animal, but it was referred to as some sort of giant shrimp. By looking at some of its physical properties, we can tell that this animal features characteristics found in Cambrian organisms, almost like a mix of trilobites and this fella, the Anomalocaris.
I gotta get a freaking size reference for this guy so I know how afraid of him to be right now.
An ancient crustacean with a distinctive pair of curled appendages that it used to capture prey.
Oh!
But what was the purpose of having such a creature in this story? Later on, we see an image of Shinomura on top of a creature of the same species. It was mentioned
giant
in the
sand
book
crab,
that
dude.
Shinomura was a kaiju that heavily depended on high levels of radiation for survival, meaning that this creature must have also been highly radioactive. This is the first and
it's not
only
actually
time
that big
we
at
see
all.
this creature in an official Monsterverse installment. The next creature on this list, however, just might appear in live action. Number 2, Marjigra.
Oh god!
During the events of Godzilla King of the Monsters, Monarch had moved its headquarters to Castle Bravo, an extra-large concealed base located somewhere near Bermuda.
Dude, all these giant mega bases, look at this. Oh my god. These giant mega bases set up all over the world since like the 50s. This has gotta be like the biggest drain on the economy.
Here, according to the official novelization of this film, Monarch scientists were studying a corpse belonging to a strange-looking kaiju called Marjigra. This word originates from Norse mythology, meaning mermaid, or another loose translation, sea giantess, suggesting that this kaiju was a female. This mystical creature was also referred to as being malevolent and evil at times.
Holy shit, dude, that was like the most horrifying. I was like, oh, a giant mermaid. That sounds lovely. And then you feed me this monster. It looks like the bastard hybrid kid that Ripley has with an alien. Oh my god.
Our Monsterverse rendition of Marjigra is depicted as a bizarre-looking titan with a flat face and forward-facing eyes.
Oh, hey, that thing's on the size chart back there, the Gojicenter size chart. That literally has come in handy more than my entire college education. Wait, I mean high school. I didn't go to college.
Similar to a human, its skull would reach to the back of its neck. Additionally, this titan is seen to have part of its skull revealed, with some of its armor and scales showing traces of burn marks. Additionally, the book states that this creature wasn't necessarily of Titan proportions, but rather the size of a large whale.
You little
This is all we know about Margigra, but we want to know more. How did this thing die?
See, usually deep-dwelling sea monsters, like the farther down you get, the farther from the surface you get, the more horrifically ugly they look. So this thing's face is actually pretty freaking realistic.
To develop a feasible theory, we must take into account that this was an aquatic monster and that its wounds appear to have been caused by burn marks. This
Godzilla
animal was also mentioned to be found somewhere in the Arctic Ocean. There is one monster in this kaiju universe that fits this description.
Your mother.
Godzilla. Godzilla can be both a terrestrial and aquatic monster, shoot atomic rays underwater, and it's observed that during that time, Godzilla would sometimes patrol the Arctic waters. Remember that the myth referred to Margigra as a malevolent creature, which is precisely the type of kaiju Godzilla would dispose of. Any creature of this size would prey on the larger creatures such as whales and perhaps grow up to become a greater threat to the G-Man himself.
It really would, though.
Which is why it was killed, if Godzilla in fact did kill this kaiju after all. The next creatures we're about to discuss probably suffered a more frightening fate.
I'm happy Godzilla killed that thing. I love whales so much. They're so beautiful. They don't need to put up with that shit.
Enjoying this video?
Yes.
Please support the channel by checking out our official Gojicenter emblem t-shirts on the link below. And
I want that red
cool
shirt.
stuff as well.
There's my size chart. Holy shit, I didn't even notice they had a dinosaur size chart. Wow, this is like the greatest.
That's it. Number 3,
I need that.
giant ceratopsians. In the film Kong Skull Island, we were taken to a frightening boneyard setting where we witnessed all sorts of dead creatures, including 2 individuals, which just so happened to be Kong's parents. But there's another skeleton, this one. As you can see, this skeleton strongly resembles the well-known ceratopsian known as Triceratops.
You know, I never really, can't speak. I never second thought it. I just assumed it was like a Triceratops and everything on Skull Island was just naturally bigger for some reason. So it was just a big, like they just lived way longer than everything else when everything else went extinct, I suppose.
3-horned herbivore that measured around 30 feet in length in the real world. Now we have to take into account that this particular Triceratops skull was much larger,
It's
suggesting
true.
that at some point in time, larger Triceratops specimens used to roam this island. These specimens would have dwarfed the Triceratops animals that we know today.
Man.
So, what happened to them? This is just a theory, but it is implied that everything laying in this boneyard was put to death by the swarm of skull crawlers that emerged from the depths. Anything that could be bitten into was taken apart by these predators until driven to extinction, which is what almost happened to the Kong species, except this fella. But given that Skull Island is in fact an extension of the biomes seen in the Hollow Earth, we could still see some of these lurking around in a future MonsterVerse film.
Ooh, that'd be so awesome.
Number 4, giant lemurs.
Yes.
Yes, apparently there are giant lemurs in this kaiju universe.
Yes.
And these are pretty big. In Godzilla Dominion, the G-Man is found reminiscing on what the Earth used to look like and what it looks like now. In this flashback, Godzilla sees 2 lemur-like creatures that tower over the surrounding trees,
Wow.
meaning that these things are pretty big. In addition to that, these things have a tail tipped with a pointy end, which indicates these could possibly be used as a weapon.
My God!
Moving on to this creature's back, we see that this thing had some discrete dorsal formations along its spine, somewhat similar to what Behemoth has.
My
Finally,
God.
we see this creature had some pretty strong limbs. Toned musculature is seen in the original picture, suggesting that apart from being nimble creatures, these things could have also been strong animals.
Dude, the freaking muscles on that, the weapons and appendages, these things, where did these things go, dude? These things could have killed Kong, I swear to
Closely
God.
resemble the ring-tailed lemur, which, believe it or not, also fall under the order of primates. If you didn't know, these harmless-looking creatures are actually pretty aggressive towards humans, unless you own one as a pet. The funny thing about this monster
Well, now I
is
want
that
one.
it was actually a byproduct of some miscommunication within the production team of this comic. In the author's notes, this mention of a giant lemur was actually referencing an extinct lemur known as the Archaeoindris.
You dirty
This
bitches.
mention then turned into the illustration of a giant lemur-like kaiju. But what happened to them? This particular
They better be IK canon, I swear to God.
area in Godzilla's flashback shows that it is now underwater, meaning that over time, these creatures probably retreated to the Hollow Earth or are dormant somewhere. Or they're just flat out extinct. Do you think any of these creatures mentioned in this list are still alive somewhere on the planet? Or do you think that they will never reappear in the Monsterverse?
Well, now I hope the giant lemur exists somewhere in the Monsterverse, for God's sakes. That would be the most epic thing ever, dude. Holy crap. I'm for sure we're gonna see giant dinosaurs next time they're in Hollow Earth, though. There's no way they're not gonna ride the dinosaur wave.
Let us know in the comments. For more fun kaiju facts and mini documentaries, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next.
That was a beautiful outro. I bet my left nut we're gonna be seeing dinosaurs at some point in a future film. There's no freaking way they won't, dude. People love the V-Rexes and like Percy Jackson's King Kong. Plus dinosaurs, dude. Like, come on, have some common sense. Now, as far as I don't think we'll see a giant lemur kaiju in this, I would love to see a giant lemur. I think that would be the craziest thing ever, but they made it look like such a freaking killing machine. The only way to have it not be, but again, they're primates, and primates are very aggressive, so I don't know, it'd have to be aggressive. There's no way to just have that thing peacefully existing like a giant world turtle. Well, that was freaking amazing. I certainly hope that. I hope that some Roblox games at least add a giant lemur kaiju. Oh my god, that'd be so freaking awesome. So yeah, check out Gojicenter, link down below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.